Hello and welcome to another video by myself, Chris, from Sorare on the Budget. Today is part two of my look at the Scottish Premiership players. I'm looking at the end of the season and seeing who I think could be good value going into the new season, just based on current prices. Obviously, the prices can fluctuate over the next couple of months, but this is where I'm looking at just now. If you're looking to start pre-planning and getting ready for next season, most of these players that I've got in today's video are probably more kind of looking at 240, the cap 240 teams, but there are some decent value in amongst those. So it's going to cover off both limited and rares. Prices are correct as of Sunday at 12 p.m. The prices may have slightly fluctuated since then. If you're brand new to the channel, please hit the subscribe button below. It helps keep the channel going and growing day by day. It has been a while since I've done these videos, so I'm hoping this series gets me back into the swing of things. If you're brand new to Sorare, you can sign up my link. It'll be in the description below. It's also on the screen just now, sorareonabudget.com, and that'll take you through the Sorare sign-up process. So without further ado, I will move on to the defenders. So first and foremost, we have Paul McGinn. He is one that I had actually recommended at the start of last season. Had a wee bit of a slower start for the year, but then certainly came on when he got shifted back into part of a back three. His last 15 of 54, last 40 of 49, very, very consistent. Played 36 of 38 games this season. No goals or assists, just a very solid player. Does get a lot of kind of interceptions and tackles and things like that. Limited cards are coming in at about £1.50, if even that. And his rare cards coming in about 29 quid just now. So some seriously good value in there. He is 32 years of age. Primarily had been playing as a fullback, but the season before last at Hibs, he was playing as part of a back three, and it really suited him, and it certainly suited his Sorare scores. And this season, when he shifted back into that, right centre back position, it really, had a positive effect for him again. So that is one that I would definitely recommend having a look at there. Then we have the St Johnstone captain, Liam Gordon. This picture, I don't know what's happened to the picture. It wasn't like this when I previewed it, but it looks like it's from the 1940s, which is apt for St Johnstone, really. Last 15 of 48, 46, and a last 40 of 43. So that's on the lower end. So is his price. 0.0005. So that is about, I think it's about 70 pence for his limited card. And his rare isn't even breaking 12 quid. So great value. He is the captain there as well, contracted till June 2024, 27 years of age. Played 32, 38 games this season, 2 goals, 1 assist. So a very solid card and, a reliable one there as well. Speaking of reliable, and somebody with the most Aberdonian name ever, but is English, is Angus MacDonald of Aberdeen, centre-back. Came in the January window. Played all 15 games he was available for, and had 1 assist in those games, 30 years of age. He has signed a new deal at the end of April, committing to Aberdeen until June 2025. Aberdeen do have guaranteed European football right the way through till Christmas, so you've got midweek utility there as well. Now, his limited cards were coming in at 0.0011, which is again about £1.60 or so. His rare card is coming in at 0.012. Now, that to me is theft. It's under 20 quid for a defender who's going to have a ton of utility in the coming months. I just think that's tremendous value. Really, really tremendous value. A card that's in my gallery. You've seen it on the first one of the first slides there. Then I'm going to move to Ross County. Now, they, as I mentioned in the goalkeeper video, they did narrowly miss relegation through the playoffs right at the end of the season. However, Alex Baldwin will probably have a bigger role to play because his defensive partner, Alex Jakoviti, has just left the club, so he'll be taking on more of a role there, I would imagine. And I mean, he has been captain in the team. It's not, a bigger role in terms of, those defensive duties. Last 15 of 44, last 40 of 43. I've included somebody like this. I know it's low scores, but look at the price. It's under 10 quid for his rare, and it's under, I think it's 60 pence for limited card. You're not going to get a better value than that. If you paired that up with the Ross Laidlaw card and County got off to a half decent start in the season, you could have those paid, especially the limited ones, you could have those values paid off with 2-3 threshold wins. So it's worth having a look at there. Played 29 in 38 games, did have a couple of red cards in amongst there, 1 goal, 2 assists. 29 years of age, contracted till next June as well. Now, new signing at Aberdeen. His cards are all going to be Livingston on the market, but Nicky Devlin's moved from Livingston to Aberdeen, as I mentioned in an earlier video with the goalkeepers, and I was talking about the Livingston situation. So, limited cards coming in under £1. Rare cards 0.017. I think that's really, really strong value. I think he will be a key for Aberdeen at right back, and I think he will have a massive season there. Last 15 of 44, last 40 of 46. Now, for Livingston, he played 30 of 38 games. 2 goals and 5 assists, 29 years of age there as well. So that's one that I would definitely suggest having, a look at. And I think he's got bright things there. And again, another Aberdeen player, you're going to have that European utility right the way through to December at least. And finally, I'm going to include a more expensive one here again. Greg Taylor of Celtic. 0.13, so it's a lot more expensive when you look at the rare cards. It's coming in just shy of about £200. However, 6 months ago, the rare prices for an average defender were coming in that price. This is last 15 of 62, last 40 of 59. His limited card's still coming in under a tenner as well. I think it's not even a tenner. It's about £8.50. So he played 31 games for Celtic this season, 3 goals, 3 assists. So it's, as you can tell by his scores, it's obviously quite heavily, his AA is quite strong in there. So that is 6 defenders, which I think are decent to good value. There's going to be some obvious names that might stand out as missing, and I've got reasons for those. So I've got 6 here. A couple that are just ones I'm going to suggest having a look at. But the first one was Dan Casey of Motherwell. He did play very, very well for them when he came in January. However, he's out of contract and hasn't signed a new deal yet. So that's why he's not been included. His price in the market is still fairly cheap, 0.016. So that's about 24 quid. Liam Scales was on loan at Aberdeen, set to go back to Celtic. Is it possible he comes back out and goes back to Aberdeen? He has mentioned that's what he wants to do. Aberdeen do have, finances there to be able to maybe make that a possibility. A last 15 of 57. If he goes back to Aberdeen, that's one I'll be jumping all over. 0.03, about 45 quid. I mentioned his name a wee bit ago when I was talking about Jack Baldwin. Alex Iacovitti was, not released by Ross County. He left at the end of his contract. So we don't know where he's going to end up yet. I speculated it could be, even my side, Dundee. It could be guys that speculated St Johnstone. It could even end up being lower league in England, but it's one worth keeping an eye on to see if there's any news when he does sign someplace. The man on the screen, Lee Ashcroft, will run through a brick wall to header a football. He will win a lot of aerial duels. Newly promoted from Dundee. You're going to probably have to scavenge around to find cards because there wasn't many, because Dundee's cards came out and were relegated. So it wasn't it wasn't a strong one for the supply of them. But a very solid defender. I think he'll be a key player for us in the coming season. Back to Motherwell again, Ricky Lamy spent a lot of the end of the season injured. 0.005, so you're looking under 8 quid again, about 750. His situation might depend on what happens with Dan Casey, but definitely one worth having a look at. And I think for a rare card for under £7.50, you're probably looking at decent value. And the last one I put on here was Paul Hanlon of Hibs. Now, it looked like they were trying to replace him. He's 33 years of age now. They did bring boys in January, but Paul kept his place and fought hard for it. And he's coming in under 15 quid. So it might be worth having a look there if you're willing to take a gamble on him still continuing to be. Hibs are also another team that are playing European football. They're in the qualifiers for the Conference League. So they're going to have a fair battle to try and get through to those, the main group stage. But it is potential. So that is the defenders video. Now, tomorrow being Tuesday, will be the midfielders video that's coming out. Thank you to everybody that subscribed. If you have any new ideas for videos, drop me a DM. You can catch me on Twitter at Sorare on the Budget. As I mentioned at the start of the video, you can sign up at SorareOnTheBudget.com. That will take you to the sign up page for Sorare. And yeah, as I say, I hope you're enjoying these videos. What's your thoughts on some of the players? Drop them in the comments below, drop them on a DM on Twitter. And yes, I will speak to you all again on Tuesday with the midfielders. Take care, guys. I will speak to you all again soon.